Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance to Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here, of course, for
Haikyuu, episode 2.
And we did it. Hinata Shoyo is going to the high school of his dreams.
Right. With his king senpai rival guy.
Yes. Kageyama.
Yes.
Kageyama seems to be the in to this whole high school volleyball club, though.
Sure.
Which is what this episode is primarily about, according to the title.
Yes.
Kuronosono High School Volleyball Club, or something. That other.
Mouthful.
Yes. So, with him getting into the high school,
yes,
he could get onto the team and have maybe some progression to where he's actually like accepted into the team.
Sure.
And that could be kind of the initial kind of struggle that he has to go through.
Yeah,
like to prove himself, basically.
Yeah, I would really love to see that, especially with the Kageyama, because Kageyama has seen what he can do. So maybe that it could be something where, like, he vouches for him, maybe, or like I don't know.
Possibly.
We'll have to see what the other people in the volleyball club will be like, because they will be older than them, right?
Most of them, I would say.
Yeah.
Because both Kageyama and Shoyo or Hinata, I don't know what we're calling.
Yeah, which one is his first or last?
I think they're going to be calling him by his last name generally because this is a sport context. So Hinata.
Right. Yeah, this isn't a rom-com.
Exactly. So Hinata is primarily going to be his name, and it could be a thing of where they're both kind of untested and new, and they both are basically competing to win the favor.
Sure, that could be really cool, and then that would be also especially cool for Shoyo or Hinata because he would actually be competing with his idol,
right?
Which is even if he gets like totally wasted, it's
still
worth
pretty
it.
good.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into this episode and see what happens. No revenge. You guys are going to be best friends. Watch this.
Yeah.
Such a problem. Oh, wait a minute. Oh.
Who's not trying to intimidate him? Wow.
Osu.
最初が肝心ですよ、菅さん。3年の威厳ってやつをガッと言ったってください。田中、その顔やめろ。身長いくつだ ?180 です。ほー。だと生意気な。チワッセ。あ、お前チビの一番
Shorty number one!
俺たち去年のお前らの試合見てた。
Oh!
お前チビで下手くそだったけど、ナイスガッツだったぞ。
まあでもすごかったよな。
それにしてもあんま育ってない。
He hasn't hit his growth spurt yet.
We've seen that, yeah.
おいおい、入って早々エース宣言か。いい度胸だな。
いいじゃん。志は高い方がなあ。
俺だって精一杯やったけど。でも今までの全部。
He wouldn't say that his
Yeah,
team
he
was
wouldn't
holding him
say
back.
his team was holding him back. That's really good.
Wow, that's great because he still said that his team was holding him back.
Yep.
バレーボールは繋いでなんぼ。
勝負しろよ、俺と。
Wow.
大地さんの話の途中だろ。何の勝負だ。
バレーの決まってんだろ。
騒がしいなバレー部。
Oh my, someone here with a tie.
先生。
俺だって去年
Yeah.
Yeah.
こらこら君たち、勝手なことはやめなさいね。
ジャンプサーブ、去年は普通の。
Oh my god.
Wow.
Well, he got served. Yeah.
Yeah.
女子にもおばちゃんにもねえんだよ。お、反応早い。きっちり正面でボールを捉え。
Oh. Oh!
Oh!
I saw that coming! I saw that coming!
Yes! Yes! So much win.
I could tell.
の遅えよ
Yeah, yeah.
意識で気づいてたぞ
お前ら
Oh, okay,
お
good.
咎めなし謝罪もいらないが何も見なかったことに
Both are.
Oh, that quiet authority.
Yep.
I
お
want you
前
to
らが
listen
ど
to
う
me.
いう動機でカラスノに来たかは知らないけど当然勝つ気で来てるんだろ
はいもちろんです
Yep.
俺はさお前らにお友達になれって言ってんじゃないのね
You guys need to be working like a well-oiled machine.
I love how he's got the dark shadow.
だったとしても今はネットのこっち側同士だってことを自覚しなさいって言ってんのねどんなに優秀だろうが一生懸命でやる気があろうが仲間割れした挙句チームに迷惑をかけるようなやつはいらない互いがチームメイトだって自覚するまで部活には一切参加させない
Nice.
Well done. Well
Yep.
done.
Not a lot of people would have the guts to actually do that right off the bat.
入れてくださいバレエやらせてくださいこれ
You know, it's extra ballsy about that is they probably don't have enough players.
No,
so they probably
probably
need
not.
them.
貴重な部員だろっていうかチームとかって徐々になっていくもんだろ
分かってる
But the power of my eyebrows compels me.
すみません
Oh my gosh, you're right. Wow.
協力します部活に参加
Did he literally just throw him out of the way?
No.
本音は
That is amazing.
今のこいつと協力するぐらいならレシーブもスパイクもトスも全部俺一人でやれればいいのに
The honesty comes out.
お前
なんで本当に言っちゃうんだよ本音をいいと思うよそういうの
一緒に戦えば嫌でも仲間っぽく見えるだろ手っ取り早い
But can you actually work together?
先輩相手にかよ負けたらどうすんだ負けねえよ俺がいるマジかこいつ中学で俺の出た試合はお前んとことのあの一回きりだそれまで人足んなくて
Yeah.
大会に申し込みもできなかったし
Yeah.
場所もないから体育館でも廊下でもいつも隅っこで練習してた
廊下
だから初めての試合でかい体育館のあのコートの真ん中に立った時自分が主役になったみたいでうわーってなった
Yes! Oh, I love this.
Yeah, this is awesome.
残るのは強いやつだけだからなどうすんだ多分二人で行かなきゃ門前払いだぞバレーボールやれるならちょっとくらい嫌なことだって俺は我慢できる
Even playing with you. What the heck was that derpy face? What was that derpy face?
Yeah, that was amazing.
入れてくださいとか言ってきそうじゃないですかあいつら
Yeah.
ありえる
勝負させてください俺たち対先輩たちとで
マジでか
せーのちゃんと協力して戦えるって証明します
せーのって聞こえたんだけど
One, two.
そういうやつら嫌いじゃないっすよ負けたら
どんなペナルティでも受けます
田中お前当日日向たちの方に入ってくれ
Oh.
俺っすか
Okay.
嫌いじゃないって言ったろ関わるのはめんどくさいですそっか
The derpy faces, I
Yeah.
love
なん
them.
かくらいだと思ったんだけどな
Oh.
しょうがねえな
Oh, wow.
で、お前らが負けた時だけど少なくとも俺たち3年がいる間影山にセッターはやらせない
Whoa.
それだけですか
個人技で勝負挑んで負ける自己中なやつがセッターじゃチーム
Ooh.
に勝てないからな
Whoa. A little bit of humility there, buddy.
Yeah.
Dang, that's rough though.
余裕だろ
俺はセッターです
勝てばいいだろ
なんだよ自分ばっかペナルティあるから怒ってんのか
Wow.
でもお前別にセッターじゃなくったってすぐレギュラー取って活躍できるんじゃねえのそれにセッ ーよりスパイカーの方がかっこいいじゃん。バシーって
セッターはチームの司令塔だぞ。試合中一番多くボール
It's
に
true.
入れるのがセッターだぞ。
It's true.
会社っぽくて一番かっこいいだろうが。てめえの好きなスパイクだってセッターのトスがなきゃ打てねえんだぞ。
だってセッターって難しいくせに地味っていうか。
お前でっかい試合生で見たことあるか。
Oh, here we go.
ない。
Here we
テ
go.
レビ
Yeah.
の角度じゃ分かりづらいけどコートのエンド側から見んだよ。そうするとセッターの超ハイエートスがよくわかるんだよ。コートの端から端までギュンって敵のブロックの目の前をボールが過ぎて、おいそれ本当に打てんのかって思うんだけど、トスの先にはスパイカーが飛んでてよ、打つんだよドカーンっつって。
おお。
確かにスパイカーはかっこいい。
That's a really good point. Oh my
ブロ
gosh.
ックを欺いてスパイカーの前の壁を切り開く。
Which means that they'll be a great combo.
Yep.
セッターだ。
お前がセッターやりたいのはよくわかった。
影山にセッターはやらせない。くそ。なんだ。
勝てばいいんだろ。お前先輩相手でも自信満々だったじゃねえか。
そうだ。動揺すんな。
Yeah, cool down,
こいつは当
buddy.
てにできないけど、あの2年の人にトスを集める。おい。土曜までにお前のクソレシーブなんとかするぞ。
くそ。まあ体育館は使えないけど。
明日も朝練は7時からですよね。そうだけどいきなりなんだよ。いや教頭の面は無事だったんですかね。
おい、その話やめろ。
Wow.
I'm liking this.
すんなよ。
7時前には切り上げろよ。
Nice.
なんていい先輩なんだ俺。田中先輩という
Tanaka senpai.
先輩。
He's like, what?
よーし。やるぞ。
Let's do this. All right, we're into
Nice.
this, Jacob.
Yes, they really cast sort of the vision and the long-term goals for this show in this episode.
Exactly. So this show is bringing us into the whole kind of team dynamic very slowly, which I'm glad, because a volleyball team or as a club will have a lot more members than just those that are going to be on the court at any given time.
Okay.
You need people that are going to be, second string, that are, behind just in case they're needed for injuries or subs or
Gotcha.
what have you.
Okay.
So there could be as many as 10 to 15 people that will be on this full club and stuff like
Gotcha. I know nothing about volleyball.
that. Okay, well we know that there's 6 players on the court at once.
Yes.
And a good team usually has at least one sub for everyone. So 12 I would say is a solid number.
Gotcha.
But I could see it being as many as 15.
Okay.
That might be a bit much because then some people might get disappointed they're not getting as much playtime.
Sure.
But the way they're setting up these two characters to be this perfect synergy of each other is great because rivals eventually should end up becoming some kind of, friends at some point. Because
Yes, absolutely.
that's the just passion that they have
Right.
that's just held in contention against each other currently.
Yeah.
But that can change in the future.
And I'm loving that they made absolutely zero progress on, well, okay, not necessarily zero. They made next to no progress on actually learning to work together. It's more of just that they're now tolerating each other.
Right.
Kind of.
Yes.
Because that will, the fact that there will be the struggle in that area will make it much more rewarding when they actually make progress.
Exactly. And also we get to, as the viewers, look at this with the added perspective of that they're obviously going to move in that direction at some point. And we can get kind of hyped up and chills about oh, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Also, so we've got Daichi,
Yes.
the senpai or the head captain.
Yes.
We have Tanaka, who's
Tanaka.
kind of the resident kind of goober, kind of pseudo initiator of the whole club.
Right.
And I believe Osu.
Yes, I believe that's his name.
Osu just seems to be like the gentleman of the whole group. He's very much very easygoing.
Absolutely.
Very go with the flow. Tanaka just seems like just hilarious in that he's kind of this, I don't know, this little ball of chaos. Like,
yeah. I have to say, though, Osu, I totally buy the gentleman thing, with one exception.
One exception? What's
that being that derpy face.
Oh my gosh! Osu's derpy face!
That was golden!
When he shuts the door, he's like... I did not see that coming. What was that? Was that just the drawing people like just having a little bit of fun?
I don't know, but like one of the big ideas with comedy is that you want it to surprise you, right? If you can see the joke coming, it isn't as funny. Mm-hmm. And Tanaka is the one that, he's set up as sort of the goober guy,
exactly.
and Daichi is very like sort of the super serious like captain, but I so did not expect that coming from Osu. Oh my gosh.
It almost was like, wait, is that the same character? It's like, yep, it is. Okay.
I hope we get to see more of that in the future, because that was superb.
It was grand. It was art.
It was a thing of beauty.
Also, speaking of art and a thing of beauty, Daichi basically telling them all his plan of how to basically bring them together as the perfect synergistic combo. Yeah. While he's standing on the tree branches.
Yes, with the crows flying from behind him.
Grand plan, and the crows are flying.
Yes.
And
that's man. So good, because like, okay, I made the Irwin reference of, the power of my eyebrows compels you, and his eyebrows aren't all that crazy, but the idea that he has that same kind of attitude.
Exactly.
Except this is freaking high school. Right. It's not Attack on Titan, where it's like, we must give our hearts for humanity and the fate of humankind will be decided in this very moment.
Right.
It's just, we need to make it to nationals, guys, and I really think we have a shot.
It is though something that I've seen that kind of passion in people when it comes over them, in particular with sports.
Yes.
It's very rare, actually. I would say that the kind of people that have that determined vision and the ability to communicate it well to people is very rare. So I instantly have a lot of respect for Daichi as a leader of this group.
Absolutely.
I really also loved the way that they had Hinata and Kageyama really tell each other from their perspective what it's been like.
Yes.
And Kageyama talking about what it means to be a setter. And it's not just the ego of being the one who handles the ball the most. He wants to be the one who pulls off those incredibly difficult sets.
Sure.
And he wants to be involved. He does have that desire to be the center, but it's more than that. And then also Hinata just spilling out his heart about having to train in hallways.
Yep.
And he was all "Gwa!" and he's like, "Gwa?"
Yeah, that was really great, because
that was a great bit of dialogue.
Because the one thing they both have in common is that they love volleyball.
Oh,
so
they're very passionate.
So even if they can't get along for squat on anything else, and even on volleyball it's tough, they both love volleyball, and that's something they can respect about each other.
It will be definitely a thing where it will start with respect.
Yeah. Because
they won't really necessarily care too much about each other's person if they go down this route for a decent amount of time. Because with guys in sports in particular, I think there needs to be a little bit of respect that starts based around the shared appreciation and passion for the activity that they're both focused on. And if this is the case for it, they're going to build a very strong friendship.
Oh, yeah.
Because that little bit of foundation with just the respect as to their passions gives room for so much more in addition to that.
Absolutely.
It's really interesting to see how people will open up to others when they have a shared passion with that person for a specific thing, because then they can use that as a setting ground to go into all kinds of other conversations and stuff. So kind of comparing that also to like Ultimate Frisbee things, like there were a lot of people that I remember playing Ultimate Frisbee with back in early days when I was kind of more of a Hinata Shoyo with not a lot of skill, but I had like one thing I was good at and I had a lot of passion to be there, and that will take you into places where you'll end up playing with people who are really great and they actually not only want to be there, but they have the skill and the talent and they put in the hours needed to back it up. what is the amount of hours needed for someone to be considered a master or something? Is it 5,000 hours?
I believe it's 10,000.
10,000 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something that I really see as like a good thing to start off with these characters, in that it's a sport, because then you get them into a place where none of them are masters, but they have all put in hundreds of hours.
Yes.
They have all put in an investment of time that puts them into the percentage mark. They're all above 1% on their way there. They've all made progress.
Yeah.
But now they're actually going to put into the place. They're going to be put into the place where the rubber meets the road, and they have to put in the thousands and thousands of hours.
Yep.
And just bonds are forged in that. And the fact that Haikyuu is considered by many to be one of the best,
the defining maybe not the, but
not the, but it's just one of the greats out there.
Yeah.
I'm really excited that they're starting off this well with how they're introducing the two main characters.
One of the things I'm very excited to see is how they do the actual practicing, because one of the things that I've heard, and I get that they're practicing in the court, like before the rest of the team shows up, and they're going to be having the match, which isn't exactly a good representation of practice. But there was something I heard where the person was basically saying that for practice you don't actually want to have it be like live training. So like if you're playing, I don't know, basketball or volleyball or whatever, you don't actually want to be practicing in games, because if you're practicing in games, then a lot of the time you're spending is on like recovering the ball and setting up and all this other stuff, as opposed to just like
mechanics,
just you know, doing a million shots over and over again or whatever,
repetition.
So that would be really cool to see, like, if they'll end up doing that, you know, because
it might be tricky to show just repetition of doing something over and over and over again. I think maybe they could go for the montage route and just show a bunch of sequences of them doing things, and then whether or not they're succeeding, failing, or getting better. I think also what you could do is you could have a lot of internal monologuing about like how they think and feel about specific types of practices and stuff. And then maybe having points where they stop and kind of hone in on one specific aspect of the practice. Showing like the struggles that they're having with that while they're interacting with another person. There's so many ways they can do it.
That is a great point that you brought up. Like if they start practicing for specific things, because if you think about like the idea of a sports anime, right? If you don't care about the sport itself, you, even if the characters are amazing, you won't be as invested in the story, right? So you kind of have to, if you don't already have an appreciation for it, the show should help you develop
it.
one.
And
if it actually shows them going through like practicing each and every like combo of moves or whatever. Again, I don't know anything about volleyball, so I don't know what it would look like. I know that would do a ton for me to help me appreciate volleyball.
Yeah, that'll be good, because I know a little bit more about volleyball than you do, but that'll be good to see if there's a different reaction from the two of us coming at volleyball from different levels of interaction with the sport itself. Also, Jacob, as a person who hasn't played sports like in a while, I mean, you know how to throw a frisbee. You played a couple sports here and there, but not really a lot. How do you feel about kind of looking at the sports side of this from kind of the outside looking in?
Absolutely fine. The closest thing that I saw to a sports anime is like first exposure. I've seen Chihaifaru, but before that, it was Your Lie in April. I know, not exactly what you would think of as like a sports anime, but it's very centered. It's very centered on music.
Then there's a music side to it.
So it's the idea that it's taking something. It doesn't necessarily have to be a sport, but it's something that's competitive, where you're wanting to be able to perform in some way to some great extent, because you have some intense passion for it, which translates and I can relate to easily with writing.
In Your Lie in April, it's more solo stuff, right?
Yes.
Because like, I don't really know much about it, but I know that there's a character that's really good at the piano.
Most of the music is piano music.
So it's not like a team thing. It's not like an orchestra.
No, but sometimes they'll have things where like people are playing a duet on the piano, or it's like someone on the piano and someone on the violin.
But like the teamwork aspect of it,
they don't really have that at all.
Yeah, but I was going to say, what's your kind of look at it coming into this from not having been in a long time on a team like that yourself?
That's what I'm actually most excited about this show for, because like if you think about the idea of teamwork, like that's something really special. That's something that I actually am trying to go into in my book.
Right.
But a lot of times stories will try and have that where it like shows people in the army or something.
Sure.
But that can be kind of hard to relate to because it's something that isn't very normal, like the army or whatever. Where if it's something like a sport, you can it's a lot easier to get behind. And for something like
more
volleyball,
people have done a sport than people that have been in the army.
Yeah. And with something like volleyball, especially with the way they're representing it, I can see it totally like, I mean, they are very much setting it up to be dependent on teamwork and stuff, which is very exciting because that means we're going to get a lot of not just development for the individuals,
yes,
but the interactions and how they get along with each other,
right,
which is awesome.
Yeah, the aspect I'm really excited for about the teamwork bit is when you're on a team, there's this whole extra meta level of interaction that goes on, and there's jargon that gets picked up. There's ways that they encourage each other, ways that sometimes they call each other out, confrontations that happen, struggles, different like really unique things that are specific to teams. And this doesn't have to be sport teams, it's really any team or a group of people that are working together towards a common goal. Is you have things that just go wrong, you have things that go really well, you have surprise blowouts where just nothing goes right for a day, and it really brings out different things in different people.
Yes.
And one of the things that I'm seeing the team aspect in this show potentially being is a kind of a thermometer to show how each player is reacting to what the team's story brings into the forefront.
Okay.
So every player that's on the team has their own take on the story as it goes on, and all of us as viewers, we get to kind of observe and dissect and digest that as it comes up and kind of learn more about the characters, which also provides for some excellent character development as episodes go by, one by one. Because then we can see, Hinata responds to this situation like this, but Kageyama responds to this situation way better than Hinata does. And Tanaka just goes nuts when this happens. And that makes, Daichi freak out in this way, but then Osu calms him down because of this. That kind of stuff is good because then you can do it consistently and evolve it in different combinations, which just makes for, in my opinion, infinite storytelling potential. Like, near infinite. Because it's multiplicative based on the number of characters in the team, of course. But if there's any indication that they have maybe 10 to 15 people on their team, that's huge number of stories that can go on.
Yep. And that's not even getting into like if they have any like rivalries with other teams or anything like that.
Oh yeah, if they bring in any other teams into this, which of course they will,
it'll just blow up even bigger.
Yeah, it'll get even bigger. But if they give any depth to those teams, then it will skyrocket into the stratosphere, and we'll never see the end of the potential there.
So, all right, here's a question. All right, when you were talking about that, you know that saying, you're the sum of the five people
you spend the most time with?
Mm-hmm. So do you think we're going to get to see something like that with these characters? Because there are 6 people on a team, on the court at a time anyways.
I would say that there's going to be some cross-pollination, so to speak, where they'll each learn things from each other. But I think it's going to be more one-sided in the beginning and then grow more homogenized towards the end.
Okay.
And I don't know if there's necessarily going to be a complete homogenization. I think there'll actually be little mini cliques that will happen. But most of them will be positive. I don't think that there's going to end up being this kind of division between the team and stuff. I could just see certain people just getting along better with others.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
To bring up my team in particular, there were multiple groups of people that kind of formed different social circles based around likes and dislikes and things that were outside of Frisbee. Okay. But also people that really clicked well on the field tended to click well off the field.
Gotcha.
And it wasn't, you weren't able to really tell which one came first. If anything, it came from their interactions on the field being really well. And that can be anything. But also, one thing they could bring up here that would be really cool if they do this in a longer setting is having first impressions be very powerful. Because I would say that unless you're absolutely forced to be on a team with these people, which most of them will kind of seem like that in the beginning, there will be interactions between people that won't be as frequent characters, where that first impression really means a lot. And especially when you're on the field or the court in this instance, and things are getting really heated, and say someone on the other team like gives there a reason to be some kind of conflict or struggle, but then they like come back to see them like a year later and say like Hinata or Kageyama is still really pissed at that person for what they did, but it's like, oh, that I don't even remember that. Like, what? Like that wasn't even a thing. Like, there's those kinds of little things are just, they're just good. And as not having watched a sports anime before, I want to see where they'll surprise me with this, because I've been getting very surprised by the stylistic choices that they choose to communicate really powerful themes in this show.
They've been doing a great job with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. Now, okay, here's one other thing I just thought of.
Yeah, what's that?
All right, so the whole idea of a sports anime, most of the time is going to be spent revolving around the sport, ideally, unless, you're something like K-On!, which this definitely is not. So, but do you think there will be some good episodes where basically they're not actually playing volleyball?
Yes.
Like, because those, I'm already kind of looking forward to those, not because I don't want to see them playing volleyball, but because I want to see how they behave when they're not in the game.
Right. I would say yes, but not for a while. And if there are going to be any there, I can count them on one hand, maybe.
Yeah, that was one of the other things I got the feeling of too.
Yeah. I think that they can do it relatively well, in where they'll have maybe 2 or 3 that will stand out in that regard. Or what they'll do is they'll keep things volleyball focused without them actually playing volleyball. But we won't get a full departure where it goes all the way to the beach and they're,
Oh yeah, no, not necessarily anything like that. I mean, they'll always be thinking and talking about volleyball, probably. But But just like if they end up doing like a Christmas party or something like that, I don't know,
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just those sorts of things to show like the passage of time, or if they're like unwinding after a tournament that maybe they lost or they won, and
I would love to see these guys after like a season or 2 kind of go out and get food and hang out together.
Sure.
That kind of stuff is good. I'd say actually, I kind of bring up Ultimate Frisbee again, but that was where team bonds were forged. Was we won our first game after we had maybe lost a couple of games, and it's like, all right, let's go get some food together, hang out. And that's when friendships were born. And then we started doing a little bit better. No coincidence there, I think. Yeah, I would like to see that too. I would say it wasn't one of the first things on my mind because I'm not expecting it anytime soon. So, yes, it's probably going to happen. I hope it happens. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
Gotcha.
Other than that, though, I really liked the 3 characters that they brought up already. I would be surprised if in the next episode we don't get, though, a lot more characters other than just those other 3 that they were mentioning.
Sure.
It would be interesting if they were lying, though, and Daichi was actually being like, no, there are no other applicants. I was just making you think that so that you would try harder.
Yeah, sure.
Because he said in the first episode, they didn't show their faces. They showed them talking like this, and they were talking to, I think that was the girl that was with them, and God, I forgot her name, but that there weren't that many applicants this year.
Right.
And I think that's what her job is. She's not the captain. She's kind of the manager, kind of like person that makes sure that the club is running smoothly. Okay. She's like the administrator kind of thing, where she has more authority than the captain, but she communicates directly with the school faculty and stuff. Is she
actually school faculty then at that point, or is she still?
I think she's a student.
Or she's still a student
with. No, see, I think they're making her seem older.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, and.
Yeah.
Because if she was actually a student, then my next thing that I would be wondering is there going to be some romantic tension, love triangle competition stuff?
No, I think if anything, they're going to be all kind of like, we have a good-looking manager. Yeah. You guys, nuh-uh.
She's the best looking. There's going to be a point when they're like losing a match, and then she'll just be like, don't let yourselves lose. And they'll be like...
Yes! Shinzo Sasageo! Yeah, exactly. That I could definitely see coming, because she seems very mild-mannered for now.
Yeah.
But wait until like an actual game's going, and she's either going to be like, they've got this, it's okay. Or like she sees them like acting up. Like say Daichi or Osu or Tanaka or any of the third years or something like that are acting up, and she like comes up and like, shape up. Let's win this. Remember.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay. It's kind of like how Daichi had his moment here where the shadows came over his face. And the other teammates were like scooching away. Yeah. They were like scared.
Or the point when he opens the door and he's just staring at him.
Just his eyeball.
Yeah. Oh, that was so good. But with that character, because she's not actually on the team, it'll be interesting to see how they have her interact with the other characters if she is in a sort of a manager position.
Yeah, I think she might be a little bit removed.
Just
from
more
the
of a side character.
Well, not just a side character, but I mean like, she's not one that's going to be more directly intervening.
Right.
That's
that's Daichi's job.
Right. That's Daichi's job. Exactly. Yeah. So in a way, she is the one that makes sure the team is actually running. Like she's the modus operandi behind everything.
Sure.
But Daichi is he's the right-handed power. He actually like goes in and makes things happen.
Right.
She is like, I am covering all the bases with everything, all according to Kikaku, and he is like the blunt instrument of vision and drive and passion. I don't know. I think that's a bit much. I'm just kind of kidding, but because that makes them sound like more like a villain henchman duo. Who knows? Maybe that's more of how it is. It would be funny to find out. It would be funny to find out that she's actually like related to one of them.
Sure.
And she just is there because like she feels obligated.
Yeah,
but she's actually like really passionate about volleyball, and she wants their school to win.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'm gonna be the best dang manager this school has ever seen. I don't know, something like that.
I could see that.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been really fun, guys. If you want to watch our next Haikyuu reaction right now, you go check out Early Access on our Patreon, and the link in the description below. Also, check out our Discord there. We'd love to chat with you more about anime. And yeah, we'll see you again next time. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.